You always hear stories on the news of other people and other incidents and other acts of violence, and you're left wondering, will I be next? I'm scared to go to school because I don't know when something is going to happen. There's times where I know, like, myself and other people would even just skip school when we hear that there's a threat going around.
Particularly for me, with the amount of gun violence that has happened in the US lately, it's definitely changed my view of the world in such a way that I've become a lot more pessimistic about how I see the world around me. It's changed the way that I do certain things in my daily life. It's really caused me to be a lot more careful about what I do, careful about my surroundings. It's become such a normal part of day-to-day life here.
I feel like, especially as a student, seeing things in the news of like shootings in schools and grocery shops, like everywhere I go, I really have to be careful of everything around me, which is a really scary thought. And I feel like places that I used to feel safe at, like school or just going out, walking my dog, something like that, now seeing all of this in the news, it just makes me really scared going basically everywhere, because you have to be so aware because these things can happen anywhere.
We're not supposed to be feeling this way. This is not supposed to be normalized. And I fear that, like, as these headlines come, people will become more desensitized and think this is normal. This is not normal.
What gives me hope for the future is knowing that there are students and there are young people that really want to change the world, and they really want to help solve this issue that is gun violence in the US.
I think we've reached a point in our generation that we are kind of fed up with everything that's happening around us. I think, usually in the past it was like, oh, you're too young, or you don't know what you're talking about. But in the wake of such violence, we have a generation that has risen up and has decided to say, no, we're not going to deal with this. We're not going to be silenced. We have a generation that is choosing to protest. We might be young, but that doesn't mean that our voice is any lesser. And that is something that truly gives me hope in the world.
I feel like the thing that gives me the most hope for the future is definitely the community at Sandy Hook Promise, because seeing all the work that I do and everyone else does here, it gives me hope because there's so many other people that are passionate about creating a change. And I feel like every time something happens, even if there's nothing going on, there's still people that are advocating to fight against gun violence and things like that. And I think it's just really so hopeful to see the youth in this generation so passionate about creating a change.
We have the ability to prevent school shootings, but we can't do it without the help of adults. We can't do it without the help of higher authorities. And hopefully, us rallying together, the youth rallying together, authorities will see that this is not an issue to be taken lightly. This is not nothing have to do with politics. This is a right to live to our fullest potential, right to just grow through all our phases of life.